Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this T-Flex CAD training course, and the topic for today will be the assembly drawings. This lesson is to talk a little about the concept of having assembly drawings, because we will develop this in our next lessons. The first important notion of these drawings, assemblies in T-Flex is that you can insert any drawing inside another one. And when you insert a drawing inside another one, it is called a fragment. And you can use these fragments, which in fact are drawings. You can use these fragments to make an assembly. There are many interesting concepts about how to work with these fragments, and basically we have two methods of working to create these assemblies. The first one, it is called the bottom-up method, and the other one is the top-down. They are different. I will not develop this concept because our next two lessons will talk about these two concepts. Anyway, if you are curious about these methods, you can find also in our YouTube channel in one other software that we work with, in this particular case called CAD, and we have some 3D examples of these two concepts. So it's the exact same idea. Anyway, there are a couple of interesting concepts when working with assemblies, and most of them we will see in the next lesson, called the bottom-up. But the idea, or the strongest idea to pass you in this lesson, it is to insert files inside one main file called the assembly. So I will start to create one drawing, and I will create a big circle, something like 100 millimeters radius. Now I will create a graphical line, and I will say that I want this circle will have certain characteristics regarding the assembly, because the idea of assembly, and this is one of the main advantages of T-Flex, it is we can work with certain characteristics so that when you are creating the assembly, one part is on top of the other, and instead of arranging all the lines to achieve this result, you can work with priorities and with these different levels of visibility to put one part on top of the other without changing the drawing. So the idea here, it is to create one hatch. I will open the parameters, and I will say this will be used for hidden line removal, and it will become invisible. Okay, it will create one area that it is recognized as being the area that is it will be on top of the other. And I will say another thing, which is the priority 1. Okay, the priority is what is on top of the other. So okay now, and saying the hatch will be around here. Okay, that's it. So now I will save this, save as, and I will call it circle 1, save it, and I will go to the start page, open a new drawing, and basically we'll do the same process. And now the circle, I will create it a little to the right. So in here, create also a 100 mil circle, a graphical line, choosing my parameters, and as you see, priority 0. So just do the OK, that's it. And again, file, save as, and now I will call it circle 2. Now I will create a brand new drawing that I will use to create the assembly. And the way to insert fragments in our drawing is it's inside the draw menu, and then fragment, and I can make several things in here. This will be explained in our next lesson, but I can insert simply by the absolute coordinates, which is what I'm going to do, or I can create these two kind of entities, fixing vectors or connectors, and they are different one from the other, but they are, this first one is a little like a local coordinate system. This will be explained in the next lesson. So simply select file, I will say circle 1, okay, that's it. And now just say fragment, select file, circle 2, and that's it. Okay, I have a couple of parameters in here, no big deal. Okay, so let us see what are the parameters. So this first one should be on top. I will say priority 1, probably it was not defined, and this in here, it is priority 0. So as you can see, it's not showing correctly. Okay, for some reason, there's standard priority 1 on the first circle. Okay, it's visible now. I will save it again so that in my assembly, update assembly, yes. Okay, as you can see, the first circle, the circle 1, it is on top of the second one because the priority assignment that this is 1 and this is 2. If I change this, now if I say circle 2, let's open it, and I will say priority 3, 2, and save it. Let us see what happened. Okay, in this particular case, it did not happen anything because, okay, this is 1, and this is 0 in here, did not change. Okay, but we will update it. In this particular case, it came on top, but because this one has no edge defined, so it did not overlap this guy. If I want to do the overlap, I would need to do the same, the automatic, in this particular case, parameters, invisible, like this. Okay, done, and do the saving, and now if I do the update, we'll do the opposite. And this is the idea for the overlap of elements dealing with the hatch to define the area that will be overlapped, and dealing with the priorities to inform the system to what is the order of display regarding the elements that you have present in your assembly. Again, this is basically a rough explanation of what is this assembly do, what does this assembly do, and we will develop all these parameters in our next lessons.